Okay, I am not gonna do my hair. I'm not gonna shower. I'm not gonna put on any makeup. I'm just gonna show you that the new Rolling Stones mono box set just arrived, and we are going to open it together. Are you excited? I am. If you're not, go away. I don't need to hear from you. You know. Okay, so let's see. I didn't bring anything to. I didn't bring a knife or anything to open it. So let's see. You know, maybe we'll take a pause in the action, and I'll get a razor blade. No, I got it. Just like a kid in a candy store. Okay, I'm not a kid. All right, we all accept that. But I am in a candy store with this. Okay. Still exciting after all these years. Taking it out of its styrofoam sarcophagus. And here it is. We're all checking it out together. It's a great cover, don't you think? I think it's a great cover. And then in the back, that's the back. All right. I'm going to undo the shrink wrap now. I don't know if you had told me like 30 years ago that we'd be getting something like this in 2016. I'd have told you. I would say to you, what are you smoking there? You know. But here it is. So let's see what we got. This is made in the Czech Republic. Okay, it opens this way. And I can't see what that is because you're looking at it. So let me see what it... I see what it is. Okay, so it's got like a lip so you can remove the records. So let's take them out one at a time. Let's see what we got here. We have the booklet. I love that picture. Don't you? Great pictures. Am I going to open every page for you? Do I have to open every page for you? I don't think we're going to open every page. You know, I could stand here. Okay. That's giving credit where credit is due. All right. Okay, that's all we're gonna do. I'm looking through it. There's some wonderful photos in here, quite obviously. I'm running roughshod over this because I'm just doing a quick reconnoiter of what's here. So that's the booklet. Let's see. You want to see an original mono? We can compare it to the original mono. I'm going to just get up for a second and go over here and get an original mono. So here's the first one. Of course, these records were never released in real stereo. So they were released in fake stereo, and the mono is the way to have them. So let's see. Let's compare. Here's first album. Because I had to take the deco off of it, but that's it. Otherwise, it's not a fold-over. They didn't do the fold-over thing. The original's a fold-over. Okay, some of you will be upset about that, but let's not get too crazy, okay? What's most important is how these things sound, obviously, so we'll get to that as soon as possible. Here's 12 by 5. Of course, this was only released in America. It did not come out in the UK. There were different configurations, and let's see, we have number 2. This one only came out in the UK in this format. And here's the original. This copy belonged to Angela Wayne, and Angela Wayne stupidly got rid of it. But anyway, here's the reissue of that. Okay, let's see. Next we have Now, which did come out in America, but not exactly the same songs. And as I remember this one, it was all electronically reprocessed stereo, except, I think, what a shame. All of a sudden, you're playing this record in crappy electronically reprocessed stereo, the American one, and What a Shame comes on, and it's real stereo, and you go, why is that real stereo, and why is the rest of it not? But anyway, that's that one. And let's see what else. Here's Out of Our Heads. This one also came out in America with different, it's different names. It was a very confusing thing. So this was the British Out of Our Heads, right here, which was not real stereo, even though it said stereo. And this was the American Out of Our Heads on Landish Records. See, and they also did the British one. Okay, this is going to be really fun listening. I'm just looking forward to this so much. And December's Children also came out in America. I haven't looked at all the track differentials, but we'll get to that. This will all be done in the analysis that will come. Here's Aftermath, and let's see what I got here. Here's the original mono Aftermath, and there is the reissue mono Aftermath. Looks pretty good. Okay. I remember buying this one when it first went, got the American Aftermath, which has painted black on it. This does not have painted black on it because the singles in the UK were not put on the albums. They were all separate, which was, made the American ones better in some ways. But then you get this and you realize that Out of Time is 5 minutes and 15 seconds on this one, and they snipped it on the American version. And you get annoyed when you find that out. So, okay, let's see what else we got here. Here's the American one in mono with painted black. Okay? Got an original of that over in the American section. Between the Buttons, Yesterday's Papers, which is kind of like a Motown thing, which is a dense recording, very dense recording. And until I got a really good turntable and the rest of the system, I never heard half of the stuff on this record. The bass on this record is profound. I hope this reissue has that bass. Bill Wyman's bass. Flowers, which was a compilation of Things. Another part of the confusion of how the Rolling Stones were released. Here it is. Of course, they didn't do the lenticular or whatever it's called 3D picture. I don't blame them. This isn't even a great album anyway. But, you can see the Beatles. The Beatles are in here. I'm sure you know that because you're a Stones fan. That if you look carefully in the lenticular version of this, you can see the Beatles. They're all in there. That's John right there. John is there, if you look. And I don't know what George is. And I don't know. The others are there, I think. I could be wrong. I know that John's there. That was a revelation. Do you know you can see John Lennon in that picture? It was kind of exciting we had in the 60s. The original cover of Beggar's Banquet that was pulled because it was too, it was a toilet seat. You couldn't, this is the thing about the 60s, you couldn't show a toilet seat. I mean, they really tried to ban crapping too, but they failed because it would have been dangerous. Okay, that's the original cover of that. That toilet was on the Mamas and Papas first album. They had to get rid of the toilet. That's how repressed things were. Give it time. We'll be back there if we're not careful. Okay. And the mono of Let It Bleed, which I didn't even know it came out in mono. Oh, and I like this. They did the die cut on the back like the original Decas, where the mono had a red. Yeah, they did that. That's cool. See, they gave you. But now let's see. Ry Cooder's name was crossed out on the original one because of contractual things. Let's see if Ry Cooder's name is here. Yeah, Ry Cooder's name is now here. If I pulled out an original stereo of this, you'd see Ry Cooder's name blacked out, but he's back in there. I guess all is. And Glyn Johns engineered this, of course. And Glyn Johns engineered a lot of these. And you can listen to the Glyn Johns interview that I did on another video on the AnalogPlanet YouTube channel. All right, let's see what else. I'll tell you one thing. You got to be careful. You really have to be. Luckily, these are coated, so it's not a problem. But these kind of sleeves with the sticky stuff, you really have to be careful with paper jackets because if you're not careful, the sticky stuff will stick to the paper and rip it off and ruin a perfectly good jacket. I've done that to a couple of really collectible records back in my youth, a long time ago. You gotta be very, very careful using these things, and it's less of a problem with laminated jackets like this, but still, you gotta be careful. This looks a little pink. The register looks a little pink to me, but not a problem. Okay, next we have... Oh, interesting. So, this is called Stray Cat. So this has all of these extra tracks that aren't found elsewhere. and they used the redone invitation cover to Beggar's Banquet, which was the same as the Rod Stewart album at around the same time. A little bit later. Don't ask me why. So what's on here? Come On, I Want to Be Loved, I Want to Be Your Man, which they wrote for the, which the Beatles wrote for them. Stoned, that was Stoned. There's a song called Stoned. I remember when I got that somehow as a bootleg. I was like, oh, they did a song called Stoned. Fortune Teller, Poison Ivy version with Bye Bye Johnny, Sad Day, As Tears Go By in I guess it's French. Long, Long While, Who's Driving Your Plane, We Love You single version, Dandelion single version, Money, Poison Ivy 2 versions, Not Fade Away, I've Been Loving You Too Long, The Under Assistant West Coast Promo Man, 19th Nervous Breakdown, Child of the Moon, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Street Fighting Man single version, Honky Tonk Woman, You Can't Always Get What You Want single version. What's not here is that very dirty Mick Jagger song that I'm not going to even repeat. I won't repeat. So that's it. That's the box. That's the booklet. And we're going to get to listening to that this afternoon. And there'll be a full report on AnalogPlanet.com. Thanks for watching.